Good evening, boys and ghouls. You have tuned into the Killer Countdown, brought to you by Backlot 605. Each week, two horror fanatics rank the best that the horror genre has to offer. Grab your popcorn and your kitchen knife and get ready for the Killer Countdown.
Welcome to the Killer Countdown. I am your host for today's Ghoul-tivities. My name is Blake. I'm Casey Kelderman. And join with me, as always, is the Batman to my Joker.
Casey Kelderman.
The Jason, the Jason to my final girl. I'm not used to doing the intros on this show. My co-host, Blake Ginnathan.
What's up?
What's up? This is weird. I'm not used to doing the intros on this. You're
showing your stripes today.
Yeah, I'm trying to read your notes, and none of this has to do with anything we're talking about. So, I think we got it from last week.
I think we got to figure out. Oh, did I actually have a specific one written?
The only thing on here that we should mention is we got to give big props to our buddy Andy Heller for doing our intro, which I love. He does a better intro than I just did.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
or me.
Yeah. So again, Andy, thank you very much, sir. But Blake, we're not just us two today. We're joined by Mr. Sam Lenz, wearing a Carrie shirt. Awesome. Sam, what's up?
Oh, just watching movies, having a good time. Glad to be here.
Having a good time. I think we need to start off with the story.
What kind of story?
A story about what just happened for the last half hour, 45 minutes.
I think, I don't know. We'll see. Should we?
Long story short, we had to break into a car because Sam locked his keys in it, and...
I am my mother's son. I lock my keys in my car sometimes.
I just want to say we technically did not break into a car. We attempted to break into a car.
From everything that movies have taught us, we have failed as movie watchers.
Yeah. Except actually, putting our fists through the window.
We could have done that, I guess.
I genuinely considered that.
But we would at least know to wrap our hands in a T-shirt beforehand and then do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, on today's Killer Countdown, we're not actually going to have a Killer Countdown on this one. Instead, we're going to be doing another news update, and we got a ton of news to talk about. So should we quit beating around the bush?
Let's keep beating around the bush. Okay. I want to hear about. Let's introduce Sam to people.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sam, tell us about your story with genres and horror movies and everything, because this is sort of like the intro to Sam Lenz here.
Yeah.
So tell us about how you fell in love with horror movies. What are some of your favorite horror movies? What do you look for? Favorite filmmakers?
Well, I would have to say my favorite filmmaker is John Carpenter. He's just great. And that's typically what I look for in movies is that mood that he creates so well. He does so much with mood, and that's why Halloween is also my favorite movie of all time. I remember the first time I watched it was when I really fell in love with horror. I'd watched, things like Freddy vs. Jason and Leprechaun, Back to the Hood, and oh my gosh,
Back to the Hood slaps. Slaps.
It's great.
You've not watched it? That's the one you have not watched?
No, I've not seen the first Leprechaun. Or
have you seen the Back to the Hoods?
15 minutes of one of them.
They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. But yeah, so I'd watch those, but I was always kind of it was just whatever was on at a friend's house. And then one night we were flipping through channels, and we stopped on John Carpenter's Halloween, and all my friends had seen it. I'd never seen it. I was just oh, okay, let's watch this. And it was the shot where Michael Myers pops out of the closet and pins Bob to the wall. It scared the hell out of me. Mm-hmm. I slept with a Nerf bazooka in my arms that night. And ever since then I've been hooked. So to me Halloween is the end all be all as far as at least slashers.
And yet Jamie Lee Curtis has not used a Nerf gun in any of these movies. So therefore I think you might have figured something out there, Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that if she would have used Nerf guns, she would have saved a lot of time and pain.
You listening to us, Danny McBride?
Trust me, I think Danny McBride did think of a Nerf gun at some point.
I'm sure. So, Halloween is your favorite horror movie of all time, then?
Yes.
What's your favorite franchise?
What's my favorite franchise? I would have to go with A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's the most consistent out of all of them.
I think we just became best friends. I mean, Halloween's my favorite horror movie. Nightmare on Elm Street's my favorite franchise.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the
Nightmare's
best.
amazing.
Cool. Do you like Grave Encounters? It's the last question.
I have actually never seen Grave Encounters. Did I just miss out on the best friend?
No, at least you did not say I don't like it.
Yeah.
Casey,
Highly
Casey
recommend.
and
We
I
both
notoriously love it. So.
We ride hard for Grave Encounters. Yeah, Blake, do you have any other things you want to get into before we get into recent watches?
No.
No?
I just wanted to
All right.
let Sam say his piece about himself. So
Yeah, and you also do write reviews.
yeah.
I
You
write
should, yes.
reviews. I write retrospectives and things like that on Medium, and yeah, I just published a list the other day that was the 5 best mullets in movie history, and there are 2 very famous horror mullets that are on there.
I read it already.
Oh, you read it.
Yeah.
I would have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, should we get into recent watches then?
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right, let's do it. What do you got, Blake?
Oh boy, I wasn't ready.
Oh, sorry. Well, I got one that I know we both watched. Let's just start with it. 'Cause
Okay.
It's a new release.
Yep.
The Vast of Night.
Yeah.
Amazon original. What do you think of this movie?
Well, okay, so I saw it a few days ago, and I sort of gushed over it in our group chat. And I gave it a lower rating than what I sort of think my feelings indicate. So I love the movie, but I only rate it like 3.5 stars. But I really enjoyed it. It's a really interesting take on like a Twilight Zone episode. Maybe it's like 30 minutes longer or 40 minutes longer than what a Twilight Zone episode is. But it's basically about this town in New Mexico where
In the 1950s.
1950s, where this guy is at a basketball game before the game, and he's kind of sort of setting things up, and he runs into this girl who I feel like kind of has a crush on him. Did you get that a little?
Yeah, I would say so, because he's definitely, I don't know, I couldn't tell if he was high school age or if he was out. I think he was post-high school.
Okay, well, I
But
thought
he works at the radio station. She works at the phone company as the
switch operator.
The switch operator.
Yeah, and so basically, she gets a phone call one night. This it all takes place in one night, all in like I would say real time. Mm-hmm. And she gets a phone call, and it's all these weird noises. Or no, is that? No, sorry. Let me backtrack. She's listening to his program, and then while he's giving the news, he's interrupted by a strange noise, and then
And he does not hear it. She does.
He doesn't
via
hear it.
the
She
phone.
hears it. She sends it to him, and then all of a sudden that weird noise comes through a switch that on one of her phone calls, and together they sort of try to investigate what is happening, and by happenstance they sort of figure, well, I don't know if I want to go to where what happens, but anyways, some really weird freaky stuff happens, and this sort of falls in line with like maybe, I don't know how you felt, Close Encounters of the Third Kind and M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, where it was sort of like, I think I sort of gave away what really happens, but in a way not.
If you watch the trailer, it's...
Is it? Okay, I haven't watched the trailer at all. So,
Sets up what it is.
Yeah. So it's sort of like this like alien invasion, but like on a small scale, like this one story of what's happening, and it's all because of how great the filmmaking is. That you're sort of, it almost plays like it played like a horror movie to me. Like I was terrified the entire time.
Mm-hmm. For me, it plays like a horror audio drama.
Yeah,
because of how much dialogue is in this.
I think it's based off a play.
It might. I mean,
I think it's based off a radio play.
It could be.
Yeah, I'd have to do some research, but it was made for under $1 million, and they got every cent on the screen. Like it looks great. There's some, I don't know how they did some of these shots. There's one shot where she's sitting at the switchboard for like 10 minutes, and the shot's just like slowly pushing in as like she more rapidly is switching phone, and it's like slowly pushing in until it's on her face, and it pulls out and it goes back in. There's one scene where
lots of long takes in this movie.
There's one scene where like the boy is taking a phone call from someone who thinks he knows what the noise means, and all of a sudden like the screen just fades to black while the guy talks, and then it slowly fades back in
to show his kind of his reaction.
And then when he takes over, it goes back to black again, and then all you hear is the voice. And then of course there's the shot in the middle where like it's this one long tracking shot unbroken for 2 to 3 minutes.
Tracking shot is incredible.
Yeah, and
it literally goes from her at the phone
switchboard all the way to his
through the high school
gym,
yeah, through a basketball game,
through a window,
out the window, and then back out through the town to the radio station.
It's like three shots stitched together. It's incredible filmmaking. Yeah. But yeah, it's awesome that this is on Amazon Prime because more people are going to see it, and it's totally worth watching. Like on a Friday or Saturday night, like at 10:30. You know, like get it done before midnight, and then try and go to bed. Like it's a really, really fun movie. And there's certain scenes where like they'll just show an old tube TV from the 50s, and it'll sort of like slowly zoom in on the tube TV, and then like all of a sudden you're in it. So it's like you're in the episode that you're watching. It kind of wears its influence on its sleeve a little bit, but it's
like you're watching a Twilight Zone episode in real time.
Yeah, it's a really cool movie.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Everything you said, I really, really, really enjoyed this movie. The shots are incredible. The acting's great.
The young girl is so good.
Really good.
Sierra something.
Everything you said is correct. And I'm a fan of like horror audio dramas. And so like everything in especially the scene where it like just goes to black and you're just listening to the story. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Highly recommend. Fast at Night.
Yes.
Yes. Got anything else on your watch list there, Blake?
Well, I don't. Well, okay, so I finished Blood Machines this morning. It's okay. What?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, like, it sort of reminded me of like someone who saw maybe like Blade Runner and Beyond the Black Rainbow and was like, oh, I'm gonna take the aesthetics like all the way up to a 20, and like it has a great. I don't even know what it's about. It's about these.
I don't know either, and I love the movie.
Two space pirates who find like this
extraterrestrial woman savior.
They kidnap her, and there's lots of lights and colors. It was kind of like someone took Enter the Void and like put a bunch of synth music to it, and then like maybe like inspired by Akira, or something else. And it was okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd recommend I don't know. Like, I guess maybe sit through the first 2/3 because the last third's the best part, and
yeah,
I don't know.
I hate that it's split up into thirds. I think that was a big mistake on Shudder's behalf. Should have just left it one thing.
Yeah,
because there's nothing. There's no story that would.
I sort of liked it because I felt like there was a good stopping point for me to be like, all right, I'm going to stop this for a few minutes and then go do something else.
Yeah, it's only 50 minutes long altogether, so.
Yeah.
And to me, the credits after each segment, too, were so long that it was like...
I hit next as soon as it popped. I did not wait. I could not wait.
I cast it to my TV so I could just go into my phone and click the next one.
Yeah, I could not wait, yeah.
Well, and the score to me was, like, obviously the best part about it. The visuals were good, too, but can we talk about the main guy? Like, the captain of the ship?
The old guy?
No, not the old.
The younger guy.
The younger guy. I did not think he was convincing.
I didn't give a shit about any of the acting.
Like,
none of the acting was great. No.
Every time he opened his mouth, I was like, it took me out of it completely.
Well, I literally sat there and I'm like, well, let's just wait for the score and the bright colors and naked women to come up.
Which pays off in spades at the very end. The
third segment is incredible.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes of it or something else, but yeah.
So I looked up that it was made in France. And I wonder if that dude, like, his English is not his first language, so I wonder if maybe his cadence was a little bit different, but
could be.
I too thought he wasn't that strong either, but...
Yeah. Well, it was just his physicality, too, on top of the line deliver. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. I guess it's for me, it's like a mild recommendation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, maybe just watch the last episode.
Yeah, because
it's only 15 minutes long.
You're not even losing anything. You're like, oh, this is just a really strange art piece that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole movie is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You got anything else, or you wanna?
I'll let you guys go because
we'll hold off on the two.
Right, because we all went to it last night together.
I will start at the bottom here. What I got? Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street was one of the.
Oh my god.
Incredible. It's on Shudder right now. I've been waiting to watch this movie for a while. I unabashedly love Nightmare on Elm Street 2. It's great. And forever I always wondered what the hell happened to Mark Patton.
Yeah.
And this movie explains it. And it's really... There's so much I did not know about it. And it's not just a Nightmare on Elm Street 2 documentary, which I was kind of afraid of because we've seen that in the Elm Street Legacy documentary. We didn't really need that. You get enough of that, but it's a Mark Patton documentary. And hearing how he was like this up-and-coming 80s teen heartthrob, was outed as a gay actor in the 80s, and the AIDS crisis hit, and how that just sent his life just spiraling after that. And then now him coming back to light here in the last half decade. It was really cool to see his story. And if you're a fan of the Elm Street series, must watch. They put out great documentaries for these, and I think this is going to be right up there with me for the Elm Street Legacy one. So highly recommend. And you watched this one too, didn't you?
Yeah, 100%. It's like a 5 out of 5. Highly recommended for me. And part of it is definitely because like I know I'm becoming the guy known for hot takes here in this community, but Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is far and away my favorite Elm Street movie. I love it. Like it's
great.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's everything that Casey said, and it's a really like emotionally investing like movie. Like I was tearing up by the end of it, and just it was really cool. As someone who was like like I don't know, I was the weird kid in high school, and I'm still kind of the weird guy now. It's just kind of neat to see those stories being like told and brought forth, and I don't know, Mark Patton just watching it. I'm getting emotional now, so I'll stop talking about it.
I found him on Twitter, or not Twitter, Instagram, and I think he lives in Mexico now, and he just sort of like hangs out down in Mexico. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He'll go to conventions, meet fans, and then go back home. And
that's the way to do it.
That's awesome.
Living his
Sounds
best life.
amazing.
Yeah.
Next, I rewatched Children of the Corn.
OG?
Why? I don't know. We were planning to go visit some of the Children of the Corn shooting locations. That didn't happen, but it'll happen in the future.
What does the kid yell? Is it Outlander?
The kid from
Malachi? Is that his name?
Yeah, the kid from the Burbs.
I always thought Malachi was the greatest name. I don't know why.
It's incredible. Like ever since I used to watch this all the time with my buddies in high school, and we would yell Outlander. We would call each other Malachi if we got really mad. Isaac is incredible. The little kid, not little kid. I love this movie. It's such a stupid little movie. It's not great. It is probably one of the weaker Stephen King adaptations, but there's just something about it. I don't know what I cannot pinpoint it.
I think I know what it is.
What's that?
Shot in Iowa.
Well, it is shot in Iowa. That's part of it. And that's all we got.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really be from Iowa and not on some level like Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's one of those movies like I constantly laugh at it, but I'm not making fun of the movie. I feel like I'm laughing with the movie. Like it has a little bit of a little dark comedy.
Did that come out in the 80s?
I want to say
84? Yes.
What? That early?
Yeah.
I was thinking like 89 or...
No. This was
Children of the Corn?
Mm-hmm.
The same year as Terminator.
Yeah.
Same year as
Wow.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wow.
Linda Hamilton is...
That's why I was...
Yeah, she's not good in this movie. She's better in Terminator and Terminator 2, but...
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did the second one come out?
Of what?
Children of the Corn?
Oh, no. I've never watched any of the sequels.
Oh, man.
I watched one of them. I just wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. I
Speaking of that,
plan on
Edward
something...
Furlong is in one of them, I'm pretty sure, right?
Is he?
Am I thinking of Pet Sematary
That's
2?
Terminator. No, that's
Yeah,
Pet
you
Sematary.
might be thinking Pet Sematary 2, yeah.
I mean, if you haven't watched Children of the Corn and you're an adult, you probably won't like it. But if you're a teenager listening to this, go check out Children of the Corn. It's fun.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time as an adult, and I remember thinking... Because when I was a kid, it was like, have you seen Children of the Corn?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, Malachi is scary, and like, oh, and my parents were very like strict about watching certain movies, and so I watched it when I was, I don't know, 24, and I was like, am I missing something here? Like, this is not good, but I might have to rewatch it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun, like, movie.
I just want to hear the guy yell Outlander again.
Outlander! Next on mine, Urban Legend.
Hell
Oh my god.
yes.
So this is one of the big 90s slashers I have not watched. I still haven't... I need to catch up on the sequels now.
I've never seen any of the
yeah.
sequels.
How
Never
about
seen
no?
any of them.
Final Cut's fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch both. I've heard... What's the third? Bloody Mary?
I have not seen that one.
I've heard it's not good.
Yeah.
But I love this movie. I love mid-90s slashers, and we've talked about this before. I think that's my guilty pleasure. Dude, I just love this movie. Jared Leto is just, like... I was watching it with Kayla, and she loves Jared Leto, and she was swooned by him in this movie, which I get. The kid from Mighty Ducks looks like Eminem.
Joshua Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why was he in all these movies? I mean, I'm sure he was trying to shake the Disney look.
I thought he was good in the movie.
He's good in the movie. It's just, I'm like, dude, you're the kid from Mighty Ducks. Why do you look like Eminem?
Yeah. Dude, Urban Legend, in one respect, scared me more than Scream. There's some stuff in Urban Legend that like legit terrified me more than Scream. There's one, I think, when they're running through like a library or something, and the killer's like way up on the second level looking down on her or something. I don't know, it's something like that in the school.
Oh yeah. They're not. They're in like they're on campus somewhere. It's like the main hall, but the killer's up in like the radio station after he kills Tara Reid.
Yeah.
He's looking down.
Yeah.
And then I won't spoil it for anybody, but the killer reveal that you always have in these movies.
Yeah.
Just like.
It's perfect.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's perfect.
I
knew who it was. I figured it out pretty easily. Yeah.
Well, it's literally just the only person that hasn't been killed at this point.
At that point, yeah. I mean, it does play the thing where you're like, well, maybe it's the boyfriend.
Yeah.
One scene,
but then they're like, well, Scream did that.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is where like the car is driving with the lights off, and she flashes the car, and the car just whips around, and it's like, oh shit, that's the one! That's the one! Yeah, I loved it, yeah. Another fun one from that era is Cry Wolf. That's a fun one, too.
I've not watched that.
Yeah, you should.
All right. And in Urban Legend, you have Halloween alumni Danielle Harris.
Yes, as a goth.
As the gothic, sex-crazed roommate.
She's great.
Is that her? Yeah. Oh, man. I need to watch this again.
My number one horror crush is Danielle Harris. Oh, she's great. It's great in
as it should be.
Mine's Adrienne Barbeau, but that was because I was a child of the 80s.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
A couple of reasons why, but
yeah. Highly recommend Urban Legend. I'm a sucker for just Urban Legends, period. I just love hearing about them.
Final Cut's not as good.
I don't care.
It's fun. Man, I would rewatch some 90s slashers now.
I was just in the mood for it, and I saw it was...
Check out Cry Wolf, man.
Okay, I'll put that on the list. I gotta watch... I've not watched the sequels to Urban Legend or I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I'm...
Here's the thing.
I know they're not
like
good.
The first, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I've seen both of them, and both of them are just kind of a pass for me.
I've only seen the first one. I remembered zero about it, so...
I like it, but I'm that guy. The rest is the two that we got to talk about. So I'll throw it off to Sam for what you got watched recently.
So I'll just say, my girlfriend went out of town 2 weeks ago, and
always a great time.
It was literally horror movie marathon. So I've got quite a few that I don't need to talk in a great detail about.
Speed through some ones you maybe didn't enjoy as much, and we'll. Well,
we've already talked about Blood Machines. That was I watched Haunt on Shudder. I didn't care for it. I don't know. It was just... It didn't have any mood to it for me. I didn't think the set design was particularly all that gripping. I can't tell if you're agreeing with me.
No. It's not a good movie.
I don't know.
If you want a spooky haunted house Halloween movie, Hellraiser LLC. Hell House LLC.
Also, the houses that October built is a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, I watched
the last part of Hell House just on Shudder television.
It's
incredible. I need to watch the whole thing.
It's good.
I've seen the ending.
We interviewed the filmmakers of that.
Mm-hmm. Did you? Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're super nice guys.
That's a perfect movie night. Watch 1, 2, and 3 back to back.
Nice. I'll have to do that.
Yeah, Haunt's not good.
Yeah. I also watched Daniel Isn't Real. I actually really like that one. Miles Robbins is amazing. He steals the scenes in Halloween 2018. I'm pissed that he died off screen. But he gets a full starring role in Daniel Isn't Real, and I fully enjoy it.
I've heard this is good.
He's the boyfriend in Halloween?
Yeah.
To the blonde?
He's the stoner.
Okay.
Yeah. The Vicky and Dave.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. And and then I watched 2 80s classics. I watched Chopping Mall and Slumber Party Massacre 2, which Slumber Party Massacre 2 has the best killer weapon of any slasher of all time. It's literally an electric guitar drill. It is also one of the only movies you will ever see that stops the climactic chase in the third act just so the killer can have a rockabilly musical number. And I love it. I'm all for it. It's amazing. And Chopping Mall, I actually watched because I heard you guys talk about it on the podcast, and I loved
So you watched it for the first time?
Yeah, I watched it for the first time. Slumber Party Massacre 2 was a rewatch, but Chopping Mall, first time watch, loved it. Barbara Crampton, what's there not to like about that?
It's so good.
It really is.
We've gushed about Chopping Mall so many times
we
on
don't
this
have
show.
to go over that again.
I've not watched Slumber Party Massacre 2. I was not a fan of the first one, but I've heard the second is better than the first.
It's
So.
way better.
Okay.
Ooh, I might have to watch this.
It's got Elm Street vibes. It's
Okay.
not as good as any of the Elm Street
Yeah.
movies, but it's got Elm Street vibes. It's really interesting.
Have you watched this?
No, I've seen the first one,
Okay.
and maybe the third one.
Maybe we should do a watch party for the second one.
I've never seen the
fun.
third one. I've only seen the first two.
Yeah, we need to do a watch party for a lot of movies.
Yeah, that's true.
I watched Village of the Damned, the 60s one, not the Carpenter remake. Still haven't seen the Carpenter remake, actually. And I've heard it's not one of his better ones, so. But, yeah, it was good. It was, like, kind of typical of the time, you know? Alien invasion, paranoia, that type of stuff. It ends abruptly, like just about every other movie from that era. I rewatched Get Out. I love that movie. I don't even know. I could talk about that movie for an entire podcast, so I'll just move on. I rewatched The Lost Boys for what's probably the 50th or 60th time. Spoiler alert, one of those famous heads of hair might wind up in the Medium article about mullets. I watched an Irish horror comedy called Extraordinary. Have you guys heard of this? Have you watched this?
I have not watched it yet.
It's
No.
so good. It's
I heard it's
definitely
great.
comedy over horror. Like,
It's got Forte in it,
Will
right?
Forte,
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my gosh, I cannot praise this movie enough. Like, it's so dry. It's like, it's the driest humor, but it's so freaking funny. Like, I don't know. It's like, most people are like, oh, Paddington 2 is like my warm blanket movie. And no, Extraordinary has become my warm blanket movie. And then, yeah, that I watched Scream Queen, and we already talked about that. So those are like my big ones until we get to the
Very
two.
cool.
Let's get to those two.
So
what did we do, Blake?
we, a bunch of us last night went to the theater to watch the original Dracula from 1931 and the original Frankenstein from 1931. Back-to-back double feature, $3.50. Can't go wrong. Pretty good crowd that was there. For me, it was two first-time watches. I somehow have not seen either. However, during the scene where is it Fritz or Franz
In Frankenstein?
Yeah.
The henchman. Yeah.
I thought his name was Igor because he has the big back or whatever. But I could be thinking about young Frankenstein. But
No, you're right. That's yes.
Yeah.
Igor does show up later in the series, played by Bela Lugosi.
Yeah. So the scene where he was like on this roof of this castle looking down, and Frankenstein was looking up at him, and they were getting the stuff ready to do their experiments. I was like I had like that wave of nostalgia hit me, and so I feel like I've seen that scene before. So I think I watched that with my dad when I was a lot younger at some point. But I don't remember a lot of the stuff that happened.
I had a similar moment when I rewatched Frankenstein like last fall.
Yeah.
Where at the end of the movie, where they're running through the hills and with Frankenstein and the dogs, I'm like I felt like that. I'm like, wait, I watched this movie as a kid because I vividly remembered this final sequence.
So part of me thinks I've seen it before, but I'm okay with saying this was my first time because it was in a theater and it was a really, really fun experience. I guess I also with Dracula. Dracula was fine. I understand its prestige, reputation, but boy, it was pretty boring. And
how dare you?
Yeah. This movie was sorely missing a score, like almost to the point where I
was playing a score in my head.
You mentioned that there's two versions, one with a score, one without a score, and for me, we judging by how it's made, they had to remove the score from this. It wasn't like they made the movie and then added the score in. It was like they made the movie with the score and then took it out because there's so many weird pauses where people will speak, and then there's a good 10 seconds where no one's saying anything, and you're like...
I think that's a theater thing, not a score.
Sure, okay.
The score that is included, at least with my copy of Dracula, is from the 70s.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it ever included... they ever had a score with this.
Yeah, well...
Well, and the way that the soundtracks were recorded back then was very different, to where they like had a completely separate recording that the theater would then play on like a
organ or something.
Next to the movie.
Yeah.
So it was something where like I don't know if score was really even prioritized.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. It felt super weird watching a movie where, where there should have been like an emotional beat and there was like nothing, and you're like, I'm like looking around like, am I the only one feeling this like this emptiness? And there's. Oh, go, yeah.
And I've watched tons of silent movies where you feel something, or you know you're supposed to be scared here, and it's just there's something missing in Dracula.
It's a little toothless, if you will.
Yeah. Well, having said all that, like,
get it? Because vampires.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, I moved quickly on from that one. Well, and having said all that, I still enjoyed it. I did fall asleep for a minute during the movie. Which I was tired from previous activities in the day, but there's some incredible shots in this. The shot like introducing Dracula is like magnificent. Like he's all of a sudden out of his tomb, and like the camera like slowly zooms in, and I can't tell if that was an actual set or if that was a matte painting behind him or what, but it was so cool, the depth behind him, and then of course it shows like after he walks out, his 3 wives come on after him, and like that shot's so cool. There's so many.
I love when they're getting out of the coffin. There's a little cockroach that has a coffin.
That felt like a Wayne's World type thing. But so there's a lot of great stuff in it. I love the matte paintings when he walks into the Castle Dracula the first time.
The sets are incredible.
Yeah, the opera house, the final house that they're in, where Dracula's sort of kind of like, I think he's staying there.
Yeah, and his house in England. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it almost turns into like Assault on Precinct 13, where they're protecting the house from him, and he's sort of like turning into a bat and going in one window, and then he gets a girl to walk out and bites her in the field, and then so it becomes really interesting in the end, but I don't think it's the classic. Well, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't have the stature that Frankenstein has. No. Like Frankenstein, like just clicks.
Yes.
Even though that movie had no score either.
It has a small score.
Yeah.
But it also has a visceral energy to this. Yeah. But there's the sound design for Frankenstein is incredible.
It's not only the sound design; it's a little bit more kinetic than Dracula's. Like there's more camera movement. There's more depth in the camera movement. Like there's one scene where the camera's like going through the town, and at one point following a group of guys with torches as they're walking. The camera's following them backwards as they walk through, ready to take out Frankenstein. So there's different things about it.
And there's shots that go from one room, and the camera like goes through the wall and in another room. And later in the film, it goes from one room through the wall to the hallway, and then into the other room.
Right. Yeah. So the filmmaking is so much better in this, and what you pointed out was like it was the same year. So someone clearly
months apart.
Someone clearly was able to just understood things more on a filmmaking level that added a little bit more oomph to his movie. And
well, I mean, James Whale was the one who directed Frankenstein, and then he also went on to do Bride and The Invisible Man, all 3 of which are considered some of like Universal's best.
And The Old Dark House, which I ride hard for.
And speaking of the matte painting backgrounds, though, did you guys notice, like, in the mountains when they're running through, there's wrinkles?
Yes.
In Frankenstein?
Yeah. I saw that.
I like it. I saw that. It's charming.
I saw that, and I was like, I ride hard for those wrinkles.
Yeah, it gives it that, like, DIY charm.
Yeah. I loved it. I didn't care at all.
It's amazing.
And again, probably back then you wouldn't have noticed that, but I think this is an upgraded...
Yeah.
At least to Blu-ray level quality.
The shot of the father walking through the town with his daughter in his arms is heartbreaking. Like,
I know, it's haunting.
So gutting.
And there were those teenagers in the audience that were laughing at that part. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I heard a few of them laughing when Karloff is like screaming. I'm like, come on.
There's one scene.
Karloff is incredible in this movie.
He is good. Like
you think he's good in this? He is.
Bride.
Everything about Bride does what this movie does 10 times better, and this movie's a masterpiece already.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's incredible.
It's insane to watch this movie and be like,
How do you improve this?
I think your review on Letterboxd from this recent viewing was kind of like, what did you say? You said something very similar to that.
Yeah, I said something like, how the hell does Bride of Frankenstein even top this?
And this is and you said something like, and this is a masterpiece. Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't know. There's no way to explain it because you shouldn't have been able to top that.
Yeah,
and he does.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
I can't wait to. I
cry during Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah. I'm still hoping that they are like, oh, we made some money on this. Let's do Bride and Creature or Invisible Man or Wolfman next. Because I'm
do Dracula's Daughter and Bride of Frankenstein back to back because both of those are better than the originals.
Yeah.
I'm in for whatever they play.
100%.
Old Dark House, doubt it.
Oh,
I'll be there.
And no, I'm sorry, this isn't Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Let's be honest. Like, I know it's not horror.
Sam, we had this talk last night. Let's not relitigate this.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, I think I've said my piece a million times on Frankenstein. We did a whole Universal Monsters episode where I just gushed about the Frankenstein series for 2 hours. So
it's the best one in that whole. Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Do Wolfman next, Westmall.
Yes.
So, yes. I think that's
a lot of fun. I had so much fun last night.
Yeah,
and I hope they do some more.
And who would have thought that it would take a global pandemic for us to get repertory screenings here in Sioux Falls?
Right.
Before the state opens
the state
up,
theaters. Yeah. If the state does Frankenstein or Dracula this October, I'm there again.
I go back. Yeah.
To watch it in that set.
I'll fall asleep for a minute again just to see Dracula in the scripture.
We'll just convince them, like, you got to play the one with the score.
Yeah. Or the Spanish version.
Or the Spanish version. I have not watched that yet.
Yeah,
I haven't either.
I would like to.
I heard Corey says it's better. Our buddy Corey. So, yeah, we'll see. I got to watch that sometime. I'm waiting. I'll wait on Dracula to watch it again. Something's just not clicking with me in that movie.
That might be a movie that I enjoy more in October than anything. I'd be willing to bet if I watched this October, I'd be like, "Oh, this is dope." In the mood, and then watch Bram Stoker's Dracula right after. Yeah.
That movie. I love it.
Yeah.
But my favorite Dracula ones are the Hammer.
The Hammer ones, which I need to get.
Those are incredible too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we move on to our main topics then? Our movie news. We only have about an hour and a half of movie news, so
yeah.
Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
You want me to? You got them pulled up there?
I mean, I see you do too. It doesn't matter. Should we just start up top and work our way down?
That's it.
Ryan Gosling is attached to a Wolfman reboot at Universal. Speaking of Universal,
that's a good segue.
Boy, I hope this happens. Who's the filmmaker who's being? Is it the Thoroughbreds director who's supposedly attached to this?
I don't think there's anyone attached to it right now besides Gosling. It's based on a pitch from him.
Yeah, which means it's going to get made because he's going to use his La La Land cachet to get this made.
And hasn't it, correct me if I'm wrong, hasn't it been described as like having a Nightcrawler-like vibe?
It's Nightcrawler with the Wolfman.
Yeah, I'm like,
what?
That right there, that sells me. That sells me hard.
Resurrect Bill Paxton, please. Get him back in this.
Yeah, I talked about this on the main show. I'm all for this. Gosling is one of those guys. He'll go the extra step to make this work. And, I mean, if it's a passion project for him, that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, I am too. I hope this happens. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it will at this point, but...
Well, and no one's going to be able to do, the whole meek-mannered, man who turns into a blood-curdling beast better than Gosling. I mean, his whole persona is, that quiet strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah, quiet psychopath.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen Murder by Numbers, you know that he's like... And then all of a sudden he'll turn around and lick Sandra Bullock's face like a psycho. And I'm so on board with this.
Just imagining his character from Drive as the Wolfman.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping that with the success of The Invisible Man, and then this hopefully Universal can get their mojo back.
Keep it 10 million or below.
Yeah.
Let the filmmakers and the actors do what they want to do and just.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to go see a Ryan Gosling movie. Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't when it was Blade Runner 2049.
But I kind of did.
I was the only person in that theater, and I was there opening night.
I saw it opening weekend.
Next piece of news that we got here, we're going to piggyback off our last news where we said Nev Campbell was in talks to join Scream 5. David Arquette has officially signed on to come back as Officer Dewey in Scream 5.
Dewey!
The first one officially back.
I know there's not a video component, but I just want to let everyone know that I'm smiling a lot right now.
Oh, Dewey.
I'm I mean, I don't have to say anything more. I love the Scream series. Casey had a bold prediction for what he thinks is going to happen with this. So this is.
I think he's signing on to his death.
Yeah.
I think he's the cold open. I'm going to bet it's him or Courtney Cox will be the cold open.
Yeah. I think you're right.
I think I didn't want... For story-wise, I think I would have him die first.
Well, because he's the one that you empathize with more than Courtney Cox's character. I mean, like, it's definitely...
And I think I still want some banter between Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
So
but
that's my bold prediction.
Like, midway through the second act.
I like Gale. He's a scuzz bucket, but I sort of... I don't know.
The only one I'm like... At this point, leave Neve Campbell for this new trilogy, if that's what they're doing. Yeah. But everybody else, I'm like, you can probably lose them. Yeah. I love them, but... Well, where do you go from here? You're not going to have a relationship between these two because Courtney and David aren't in a relationship anymore. It's going to be like I don't think they would want to do that, but
I mean, you're going to give some emotional gravitas to this thing if you kill off Dewey in the opening. Like, he is, besides Randy, he is the character that like I have really connected with on everything. I mean, obviously, like Neve Campbell is the main one, but like as far as side characters go, like Dewey's he's endearing, he's lovable. You kill him, all bets are off. Everything.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that this franchise, to kick it back into gear, you gotta pull what the first movie did.
Yeah.
You're expecting Drew Barrymore to be the lead. She dies 10 minutes into the movie.
Yep.
Kill Dewey right away. I don't want him to, but that's
I mean, no one wants to see it, but like
kill your darlings,
kill them off. Any other final thoughts on?
No, I'm in.
On Dewey?
I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, you want to read the next one?
Yeah, man. Blumhouse and Lee Winnell have decided to make an Upgrade sequel as a TV series. My favorite film of 2018. Mm-hmm. I'm not. I know what we just talked about, but I'm never like a big fan of sequels for some things, and Upgrade's one of them. But I sort of like the idea of possibly maybe exploring the world more with. I'm assuming it would be Tom Hardy's character.
Not Tom Hardy.
Yeah, not Tom Hardy, but
discount Tom Hardy.
No, for me,
better Tom Hardy.
For me, it's what's
his name?
Logan Marshall Green. For me, Tom Hardy is discount Logan Marshall Green. I like Logan a lot more than
high rent Logan Marshall Green.
Yeah, he is like high rent in a shitty neighborhood. Anyway, no, just kidding, Tom Hardy. You
guys gotta watch Capone. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah,
the best way.
I'm stoked about this. Like I said, I love Upgrade. I love the idea of what they can explore, especially since Upgrade was like a small budget. I think they can get away with a lot in a TV series without spending a lot of money, and hopefully Logan Marshall Green comes back for this.
What did The Purge air on? Was that FX?
USA, I believe.
I thought it was FX.
I think it's
Maybe
FX.
It was
Is that or Spike? I thought.
Don't think Spike is a thing anymore.
It wasn't. You're right. It wasn't USA.
I think it's FX.
I think it was FX.
Yeah, you're probably.
But that's where FX. That's what I'm getting the vibe off with this.
Yeah,
that's where I'll probably end up. It seems like something where it will end up on FX.
I love the Purge movies. I've never seen the TV show.
I've not either.
I don't know.
Same with this. I'm not going to watch this. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because I think it might get some more eyes on Upgrade, the movie.
Yeah. I'll probably watch the first episode. What I'll probably do is reading reviews and see what the word is, and if it's like, oh yeah, it's good, I'll probably check out the first episode and go from there. I'm so bad at watching and finishing TV shows. I'll watch 2 episodes, and then like 3 months later, I'll finally watch another one. So
I've been working on the first season of What We Do in the Shadows for like a whole year now. So
I hear it's great.
Yeah, I've been doing that with Buffy I started it in January. I'm like halfway through the first season. I'm like, I should probably watch the rest of this. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm excited that they're getting a sequel for this, but would have been cool as a movie. I would have.
I'm curious as to where it goes, because to me it ends on such a perfect note.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it leaves it technically open for, what's going to happen next, but I like those kind of endings, and I like when they're not.
That's why I wouldn't be surprised if it's not surrounding Logan Marshall Green's character.
I don't know what else you could do then. I'm sure they'll figure something out, but I don't know.
Next piece of news that we got here, we got some casting news, sort of horror related, I guess. Cate Blanchett signs on for Eli Roth's Borderlands adaptation. So Eli Roth is the connective tissue to horror here.
Yeah.
Have you ever played this game, Sam?
I have not. I'm not a gamer, but I will say, like, I'm in what I feel is the minority that actually enjoyed The House with a Clock in Its Walls. And a lot of why I enjoyed that was because of Cate Blanchett and Jack Black. And so, I don't know. I'm into this. I'm into her collaborating with Eli Roth again and seeing where that takes us. Eli Roth is kind of hit or miss for me, but, you know, when he hits, I think his stuff is enjoyable, and when he misses, I'm just kind of like, well, I won't watch that again. So, you know, I'm willing to give this a shot. It's a 50-50 coin toss. I'm
going to base my decision on how good the trailer looks. Sort of, I'm in the same boat. I like Eli Roth. I think his heart's in the right place, maybe. But it's either he sort of lives in this world where it's almost like Tarantino in a way, where he loves a certain genre or style of movie so much that he wants to remake that movie into something new and update, like the Green Inferno. Like, I think it's a good idea maybe, but like you either go all in on a cannibal movie or you just don't make it. And I felt like there's one gruesome scene in the movie, and the rest of it's sort of like, okay, you know, like, man, go all in on.
You would think him trying to remake his favorite movie ever would have gone better than that.
Like, go all in on ripping people to pieces. Like, you know, like literally go all in on this stuff. And like, it just felt like it was a very, very and I haven't seen the Cannibal Holocaust or Pharrell or anything, so I can't speak. But from my understanding, like, he did not touch the surface of what he could have done with that movie, and that's just one movie. Yeah. But like, I enjoy Hostel. I enjoy both Hostels. I like Cabin Fever. So like, I do enjoy some of the cinematography, but I'm interested to see what he could do. I assume this is going to be a good sized budget considering what I've seen of the game.
I mean, out of all of his, I would say it's probably going to be his highest budget that he's had.
Right.
Yeah. I have not watched House with the Clock in Its Walls. I just picked it up like last week from Last Stop. It's on my watch list. I heard it's good.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, it's got its flaws, but to me, it's a really nice little gateway horror movie for, you know. Yeah. It might be a little too intense for kiddos of a certain age, but like, it reminds me of those like Amblin ones that I used to watch growing up, and I don't know.
And we were talking, when we were talking about last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking like, we need kids horror again. And that seems like that's kind of one of those movies.
Yeah.
I talked about this on the main show. I don't play video games. I don't know what Borderlands is even about.
I think it's a shooter game.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I was kind of looking into it because I knew we were going to be talking about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you shoot people in this game, like every other game I've heard of.
I'm like Blake. I'm going to watch the trailer and then judge it from there.
Yeah.
So. Yep. Next piece of news that we got here, Crawl and the Child's Play remake are heading to Amazon Prime. If they might be on there right now, actually.
It's possible.
I know Child's Play just got put on Hulu, so I'm guessing it's on Amazon Prime too.
Yeah.
Can I just say, like, if you don't own those movies already, you're doing it wrong. I love both of them, and I know Child's Play, like, I don't know, man. I love the original, but I really like what this remake did with it, and I'm stoked that it's going to be on streaming for more eyes to...
I'm going to rewatch it. I did not like it at all. I love the original Child's Play. I think it's fantastic. The remake was different. I think it has some tonal issues, but that could be me.
Sort of agree.
But yeah, it sort of felt like they just wanted to upgrade the movie
with they're about to lose the rights.
Today's technology, and it's like there's like drones flying around, and it's like, gosh, man, what's happening here?
You're telling me you watched the whole Supermarket Massacre and you didn't like giggle when
I
did
not. I was sort of like, and then doesn't he say something like, "This is for Tupac" or something?
Yes.
I mean,
I've talked about this movie tirelessly on every podcast.
Did you watch it?
I'm not going to watch it. I refuse to watch it.
I understand.
And this is out
that.
of respect for Don Mancini, which
I
they
understand that.
effed over big time. So I'm just not going to touch this.
Yeah.
Crawl, on the other
Let's
hand,
go to Crawl.
I'm like, yes, I need to watch Crawl. It's incredible.
Wait, you haven't?
I've not watched it. No.
I don't like Crawl, but
I just don't like move.
I know, I do hate movies. I do ask myself why I keep coming back over here. No, Crawl, I think I expected more, like, Alexander Aja is another filmmaker who, like, he goes all in on his violence in his movies, and I was expecting something more violent than what this is, and, yeah, I want to rewatch it, because it seemed like the perfect storm, no pun intended, hurricanes and alligators, big alligators, loose alligators, killing people indiscriminately, and yeah, and I love basically the majority of what he's done. So I need to rewatch it. And I'm okay admitting that I need to rewatch a movie. You know, I'm okay, admitting that. I know some people are like, "Oh, hard stance, don't like it," but I know I miss stuff from time to time. So I will be rewatching this on Amazon because I know it's like right up my alley. If Tarantino says this is like the best movie of 2019, then like
It's so I'm honestly I'm pretty sure it cracked my top 10 list.
of all time.
No, of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get what you're saying. Like, it is a little more restrained than Aja usually is. But when the gator gore hits, like, it hits.
Yeah.
And I love, like, there's an homage to Jaws in the middle of it that's very subtle. But, like, there's looters on the boat, you know?
Right.
And the gator literally, like, jumps up onto the boat to eat the guy from the, like, legs up. And I saw that, and that was, like, the moment where it just kind of cemented. Like, I was already having a great time with it in the theater, and I saw that, and I'm like, I'm 100% on board with this. This is amazing.
I'm stoked to watch it.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
All right, next piece of news. You want to take it? Got it? I got it.
You can take it.
I'll take
I'm
it.
not ready.
Second Sight's Dawn of the Dead 4K set sees a release date of 10/26 this year at the low price of $9.99. Anyone going to be picking this one up?
You mean
$99?
Yes.
You said
$9.99.
Okay.
9999? I think
$9.9 too much.
Here is what I'm gonna say about this. My birthday is October 27th. You guys know what to do. That's all I'm gonna say.
Buy you Dawn of the Dead on Blu-ray for $10.
Top 5 horror for me. Maybe top 10 movie period for me. I love this movie. I really, really want to get it. The thing holding me back is that... thank you, Casey. The thing holding me back is it's not a Region 1 release, but 4Ks do play region free all over the world, but the extra features are on Blu-ray, and I would not be able to watch those. And so I'm just really holding out for a Region 1 release of this to get that where I can watch everything. So I don't think I'll be picking this up, even though I really, really want to. But I mean, this is this set looks amazing. All the special, there's 3 or 4 different cuts on it, all in 4K, restored. Documentaries, interviews, all kinds of stuff about the movie on its own disc. Yeah, so check that out.
Yeah, I won't be.
I'll stream it because I agree. I love the movie. I just I don't need to spend $100 on it. You know,
I even got the okay for my wife to get it, and I was like, oh god damn, but.
Yeah, I would have
think I'm gonna
a gift for sure.
So if anyone listening wants to buy 3 copies of the Dawn of the Dead 4K and want to send them all in, yeah, I'll stick with my crusty old DVD. I'm fine with that.
I haven't watched it in forever. I think it's probably been since high school, but I
think that'll be a Christmas Halloween rewatch for me this year. Blake is struggling hardcore.
I got to figure it out. We're good.
Next piece of news, a couple of Scott Derrickson pieces of news that we got. Scott Derrickson is set to direct a sequel to the David Bowie classic Labyrinth. And he has also teamed up with his sons to make a housebound horror short.
Well, they already made it, I think.
Yeah, they shot it already. I am like waiting for them to drop that because I saw that on Twitter. I was like, this is exciting. This is almost more exciting than the Labyrinth news, which we'll also talk about. But you know.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see this.
Yeah, I must have missed the tweet, but yeah, you mentioned it to us. I'm like, that's cool. That's fun.
Yeah, I know, and it just seems like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter, but he's very much like a family-oriented guy. And to see him,
he's like, I showed my kids the Jaws last night, or like whatever. Yeah. They loved it.
And so, like, to see him like collaborating with his kids and stuff, it's really cool, and I think we'll get something really, really unique out of it, and hopefully we'll also get something unique out of his Labyrinth remake. Who do you think is going to be the David Bowie? That's my first question.
I thought I heard that they're not even casting for that.
Yeah. I know I talked about this on the main show.
Really?
There's no word yet if they will have a Goblin King. I say don't do the Goblin King. Or let Jennifer Connelly step into that
that would
role.
be an interesting idea. Yes. I like that.
Or you get Tilda Swinton to be the Goblin King.
No.
Okay. I've never
Tilda Swinton in bald cap.
I've never seen The Labyrinth before, so.
And yes, we will do it's on the docket, Blake. We're going to have a Labyrinth Dark Crystal double.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Speaking of movie mullets.
Number 1, baby. Yeah, Kayla this is top 3 favorite movie of all time for her, and I asked her about it, and I told her, I'm like, well, do you think they should have someone else or just have Jennifer Connelly's character? And she said, no one else can play this role. That's David Bowie and his bulge. Yeah. Just let Jennifer Connelly do it. She said,
wait, what did she say?
What?
That's David Bowie and his bulge?
And his bulge. The greatest movie bulge ever, guys. You cannot. Blake has no idea what he's in. I'm sure you've seen the bulge.
I've heard. Oh, yeah. I've seen pictures of the movie.
It's hard not to see the bulge.
It's incredible. It's a very overtly sexual movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's not
for a 14-year-old Jennifer Connelly in that.
Yeah, movie. Yeah. It's a little.
It's a strange movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I'm excited for a sequel. I mean, Scott Derrickson seems like I'm interested to see him do musical numbers. Yeah. That's what I'm most curious about.
Yeah, that'll be. I know. Do you think they'll have musical numbers?
You have to.
Yeah, you would think.
My pitch is that you got to get the team that was behind the Dark Crystal Netflix series to help out with this. Because I don't want CGI. I want the puppets.
Yeah.
That's it. I would imagine they're going to do puppets.
I think they have to. All right, next piece of news that we got here.
This is going to disappoint Sam. Edgar Wright's new movie's been pushed back till next year. Last Night in Soho, I don't know. I have no idea what it's about.
Stars Anya Taylor-Joy.
I don't plan on watching a trailer or anything for it or reading a synopsis. I'll go watch it, whatever it is. But supposedly it's described as a horror movie set in London, so I'm super stoked to see what he comes up with.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, we know that Edgar Wright is a fan of genre just from his previous movies, Shaun of the Dead. I mean, even Hot Fuzz and The World's End had elements of horror in them. And
and Baby Driver has Kevin Spacey, so...
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see where he goes with the, like, full-fledged horror. And, yeah, it bums me out that that's not going to be a fall release this year, but...
Thank you, COVID.
Yeah, thanks, COVID.
Yeah, this has been happening, all movies have been pushed back, and, I mean, when it comes out, I'll be there. That's all I got to say about it. Next piece of news, though, The Wretched, which is a new film that just came out a few months ago, was the number 1 film at the box office for over a month.
Was this debated?
But this is, yes, it is, because it is not. It is, as of now, for what studios are releasing to the public, the number 1 movie at the box office for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. But they have not released numbers for like Troll 2, Bad Boys, Sonic, whatever else is in theaters right now.
Yeah.
So
technically The Wretched's still number 1.
Technically, but when you actually have put some of the numbers in, its first week out, it was like 6th.
But it doesn't matter because the other studios didn't do their paperwork, so...
Yeah.
So. Thank you, COVID.
No, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched it yet.
It looks
available on VOD.
Fun. Yeah.
It does. It looks like a lot of fun.
I would love if a drive-in around here played it.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Please, and get the Evil Dead 4K
Just
restoration.
Do both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Play The Wretched and then Evil Dead right after.
Yes, I would be on board for that.
Yeah, the numbers are skewed right now. I think we'll eventually see the numbers come back into what has actually been going on during the Rona. So, I mean, we'll see what happens
We're
after
gonna
this.
find out that Sonic the Hedgehog was the highest-grossing movie of all time.
Yeah. All right. What's the next piece of news that we got there, Blake?
Color Out of Space, the Nicolas Cage H.P. Lovecraft movie, and something else. The Shed are coming to Shudder later this year. Color Out of Space is quite the experience if you've not seen it yet. Richard Stanley, the great cyberpunk director of the 90s, is back with his newest movie, and it's a take on the H.P. Lovecraft short story, The Color Out of Space, and it stars Nick Cage as this father of this family by this farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, and a meteorite lands in their backyard and completely upends their entire life. As with any H.P. Lovecraft, horror beyond description takes over, and some gnarly stuff happens. Yeah, I think I'm the only one that has seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm very excited to see it when it hits Shudder.
It's wild. I didn't love it by any means, but there's some great stuff in it. Especially if you love like Argento stuff, like there's a lot of like neon lights that light up the sky and the rooms when the alien force comes out, and yeah, super cool. I've not seen The Shed. Our friend Dominic saw it. He said it was good.
Isn't that the kid has a vampire living in his shed, right?
Yes.
He starts feeding all his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Yeah, I have not watched either. Both are out on VOD, but they're coming to Shudder later this month, so that's
right.
I'm gonna spend my $5 from my Shudder subscription and watch both of these. I'm excited to watch both.
Yeah.
You've gushed about Color Out of Space, and I've heard good things about The Shed. They both seem like a fun Friday night movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm a Lovecraft guy. I love some crazy Lovecraft, and that combined with Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage,
he doesn't go full out Nick Cage.
He doesn't go full.
No,
Nick
it's
Cage.
pretty restrained Nick Cage. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's still Nick Cage reacting to.
It's not Mandy Nick Cage. What Nick Cage would you compare this to?
I'd say like if
Is Mandy the peak Cage?
I feel like Face Off is peak Nick Cage.
It's up there.
Yeah, or Bad Lieutenant, or he does
Vampire's Kiss.
I haven't seen Vampire's Kiss, but I believe
It's
Have you
horror.
guys seen Mom and Dad?
Yeah, I've seen the ending of it. It's not like memorable Nick Cage, but he's still good. I mean, it's Nick Cage. I mean, he's
Nick Cage.
good in everything, So, yeah, excited about that.
Let's piggyback off the Lovecraft news. I did not watch this. I did not even see this in the news for the week. But there's a new trailer for Lovecraft Country.
Yeah,
you guys watch this?
I watched
it
this
morning.
HBO, brand new show. I love when when someone decides to make a retelling of history with elements that weren't there, or maybe they were, and we don't have that knowledge of stuff. But it takes place in the 1950s or something,
Yeah,
around
it's
there.
very 50s.
And a lot of issues about segregation and the Ku Klux Klan and black rights, but there's some horror elements they really don't. I don't think they show in the trailer.
They don't really show their hand. The very first trailer they put up, there was a creature very shrouded in shadow that looked very close to. I'm gonna butcher it. I'm a huge Lovecraft fan, but I don't. Cthulhu. Maybe that's how you say it. I don't know.
Yeah. I've always said Cthulhu, but whatever.
I've had to go through so many things where I'm like, I think Cthulhu is how it's pronounced.
Yeah. Well, there's something.
Or you can be like Cartman in South Cthulhu.
Slightly like Cthulhu. Yeah, something that looks something like Cthulhu in the woods in the very first trailer they put out. Not the one that they just did like a week ago, but yeah.
Would you say this was HBO?
Yep, yep. I love that HBO. This feels like a risk for them a little bit. Not your normal fare. This might be a good indicator of where we go with the Hellraiser series that they're working on. They'll be out in probably a couple years or so. But trailer looks good. I'd recommend checking it out.
Created by Jordan Peele.
Yep.
Yeah.
With Misha Green, who wrote some episodes of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, yeah, I'll check out this trailer. I haven't watched. I don't have HBO, so I wouldn't. able to watch
Yeah, I
it,
gotta
so-
figure that out too.
Yeah, maybe use my free 1-month subscription on it. You know,
I've got like a Roku TV too, and HBO Max isn't even available on Roku devices. So I'm kind of like, come on. HBO.
It'll be there.
yeah, I'm sure it won't be too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we got next, Blake?
Train to Busan, the great South Korean zombie movie, is getting a re-release next month with not only extra footage, but I believe a new trailer. What did I write down here?
With footage from the sequel from
footage
Train to
from
Busan Peninsula.
Peninsula, yeah. Have you seen Train to Busan?
I actually have not.
It's a top 8 foreign horror film in the last 20
It's
years.
good. It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's
incredible. I love it.
It's a great movie. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Once it starts, it never lets up for 2 hours, and it's intense. So it's just think of like the really terrifying parts of 28 Days Later, and it's just that for 2 hours. It's just
my God.
yeah, it's
Yeah, that
nuts.
sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gushed about it last week.
Yeah.
I'm excited I'm very excited for the sequel. I hope we get the sequel around here.
doubt it.
I doubt it too. And that's why I'm not expecting us to get this re-release in theaters.
No, I'm not either.
For train, I mean, I would love if a drive-in took a chance on playing Train to Busan in the drive-in.
Yeah.
It'd be incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for the sequel. I'm sure the footage will either end up online or something after. But I'm good with just knowing there's a Train to Busan sequel. That's it. That's all I need to know.
And if you haven't checked that trailer out, please do, because that trailer is incredible too.
Yes. Next piece of news that we got here. This is some new Evil Dead news.
This is all you can.
This is from Bruce Campbell, who has stated that Evil Dead 4 is on the way with the title Evil Dead Now. Apparently, he is not involved as Ash Williams, and Sam Raimi has handpicked hole-in-the-ground director Lee Cronin to helm the Evil Dead 4, the Evil Dead Now. What do you guys make of this?
I'm in.
Did you watch Maybe we should start there. Who has watched Hole in the Ground?
I have not.
Neither have I.
I've heard good things. I've heard both things. But I've heard some good things. I've not heard all bad things, put it that way.
And this is going to sound really awful, but I actually have only ever seen the first Evil Dead, and I just watched it about
We talked about
3 or
this,
4
that's
weeks
right.
ago.
Yeah.
And so I loved it. I want to continue the series. I caught a little bit of Army of Darkness.
What did you think of Evil Dead? Or Evil of Dead? Jeez.
Evil of Dead.
Evil
That
Dead.
would be a cool title.
Oh, I loved Evil Dead. Like I loved. I think I talked earlier about how mood is like a big thing that I look for in horror movies, and like mood in that movie is just it's amazing.
Well,
I love the sound design in the first
good luck
Evil
with
Dead.
the second one
incredible.
then, because the mood's completely different.
Well, yeah, but I also like zany, crazy horror comedies. So, and I've heard that one dives really.
It makes
deep
fun
into
of the
that.
first one.
Does it?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm good with that, too.
The Evil Dead 2 is like, as if the Three Stooges watched Evil Dead and were like, we can do that.
We should do that. We'll just get the guy that was
just
in
gets
it,
me
and then
more
we'll do it.
excited.
It's a lot of fun. For me, it blows the original out of the water. Like there's no.
We've talked. We did a whole Evil Dead episode. I love all 4. You have your problems with Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Have you seen the show at all?
I have not. It's been on my
show is
my
incredible.
Netflix list. I want to watch the movies before
Yeah.
I watch the show.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
Have you watched the remake?
I have seen part of the remake. I have not sat and watched the whole thing.
I had a come to Jesus moment with the remake. So
I liked what I saw of the remake.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
the
We now ride hard on the
we
remake.
do the TV series. It's first 2 seasons are magnificent. Third one is a little bit lower. It's not as good, but the second season is just like there's one scene in the second season in a morgue that
Maybe the greatest thing ever.
is probably the best scene in the entire series of movies for me overall. Like it's
As
just
far as zany, as far as the tone of that series, that is the scene. For me.
yeah, it's nuts. Literally it's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Sam Lenz. You got to catch up to this.
I have my homework for the next couple weeks then.
I don't know what to think of this news because they've been talking about Evil Dead 4 for a while.
I wish Raimi was doing it.
Yes.
However, him handpicking a director makes me think that he trusts them enough.
which he did with Fede, which was all Sam.
Yeah.
Sam watched his short film and then picked Fede. Like, no, you're just going to do an Evil Dead movie. Like, you've only ever made short films. Now you're going to make this.
Yeah. So I have faith that it'll be good, but
I'm saying, what, I don't. Okay, this is the part that I don't get is that Bruce Campbell's like, I'm not in the movie. So why not do what I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to do next. Because either do your sequel to the Fede movie or do Evil Dead 4 with Bruce Campbell. Like, what are you? I don't know.
I
what
feel
you're
like
trying
Evil
to do.
Dead 4 was the TV show with Bruce Campbell.
But I want more.
Well,
call me greedy.
Yeah,
I want more. Evil Dead Now. I like the title, all right. But again, what are you doing with it? I need to hear some more plot details. I think before I'm sold on it.
We will find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. And I've not watched Hole in the Ground, so I will watch that before this. Yeah. Watch Dragon.
I'm excited. Maybe not as excited as I wish I was, but...
As if it said Sam Raimi set to direct a sequel called Evil Dead.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have literally broke the internet if that had happened. At least my Midco service would have gone down.
Speaking of sequels... Nightmare Cinema is going to be getting a sequel in the works with Mick Garris once again back.
Mickey
Garris. I love Mick Garris. He has a fantastic podcast, Postmortem. Love
yes.
it.
Yes.
I think we were kind of on the same page. I don't love it.
I think so.
Which, from what I remember, you liked the first couple.
I loved the first one with the sort of flip of who the serial killer or the killer is in the camp situation. I love that one. I loved the sort of 70s take on the it takes place in a school they speak Spanish, I think. Is there something to do with nuns?
I don't remember anything about this.
There's a short where that takes place with nuns and a priest. I liked that one a lot, and I liked the one with the plastic surgery, and then the ones that I didn't like were the story about the boy who was killed and his ghost comes back to find the guy who killed him or something, and then the one that was in black and white, the one directed by David Slade. I didn't like those two, which is ironic because Andy Heller loved those two and didn't like the ones that I liked. So him and I sort of just met in the middle on it. I think with anthologies, we sort of talked about this on one of our shows where you sort of... I don't think you can just be all in on an entire
very rare.
Very rarely are you going to watch an anthology and be like, I loved every one of those.
Can you think of any then?
I don't think so. Creepshow 2. I liked all of Creepshow 2.
I don't like the first segment in Creepshow.
Oh, it's my favorite of the entire series.
Does Mike Dougherty's Trick or Treat count? Because I consider that kind of an anthology.
And I don't like that. Oh
if Trick or Treat counts, then yeah, I don't.
Is that?
See, to me,
that
I
feels
love that movie all the way through.
That feels like a very through-lined story in a way.
God, yeah. I don't. It's very much inspired by anthology.
The one that came out after that, Halloween something,
Tales of
Halloween. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. That one had a lot of strong segments.
Yeah.
I can't think of any
off
the top of my head that I
did. And the ones I'm thinking of VHS 1 and 2 especially.
Two
is found footage.
I feel like 2 is at the ends of both spectrums. There's bad ones and then there's obviously maybe the best, one of the best
segments
ever made. Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel about Creepshow too. It has one of the best segments ever in it.
The Raft.
Yeah.
The Raft's
incredible.
So I'm excited for this. I love horror anthologies, especially when you get these top-notch filmmakers to come in. I say get rid of the Mickey Rourke wraparound story, which is
paid Mickey Rourke for a day to be there.
Supposedly he wasn't very nice when he showed up.
I've never heard anything good about Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe find a new cinema. That's what I would do. Maybe find a new cinema, maybe get Judge Reinhold to come in or something and be the spooky ghost.
Just get Stephen King.
Yeah. And so I'm excited for this because who knows, maybe a great one lies within the stories that are made.
Yeah, I need to I think I'm gonna again. I have a couple movies from this year that I'm I got to rewatch around Halloween because they fit that vibe more.
Yeah.
We talked Haunt is one of them. I'm like, I need to watch that around Halloween. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
Same with Nightmare Cinema. Maybe it'll work a little better around Halloween. But I'm excited for a sequel. I mean, like we've talked about a million times, horror anthologies. It's some segments are better than the others. I was with you. I was more on the first half of the film than the second half.
Yeah.
Have you watched Nightmare Cinema?
I have not watched Nightmare Cinema yet. No, I've heard the Mickey Rourke stuff is pretty bad.
He just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, you're gonna pay me $2 million? Yeah, I'll show up, and then
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the thing. Like I'm always about 2 years behind on anthologies. I tend to like them just because I like the kind of like grab bag. Like, oh, I'm not gonna.
Have you watched the Creepshow series?
I've started it. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah. The House with the Head. What?
We gushed about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Just oh my god, that one. I don't know how they made that as scary as they.
And that's why I love the Creepshow, and we talked about it a couple times already. Like sometimes horror movies, it seems like there's a great concept in there, but there's so much mileage you get out of it, and that's why I like anthologies. It's kind of like, all right, what can we get in 25, 30 minutes?
You're in and out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so while I maybe didn't enjoy some of the sections of certain anthologies, like I'm glad it's, like, okay, I understand what they're going for, but it didn't work with me. And so I think the idea of anthologies in horror we should make more of them. And I'm super stoked to see what Creepshow season 2 does with the stories that they come up with.
Yeah, we got to do a whole episode on anthologies.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
We have to do it.
Yeah.
We have to do it.
Yeah.
Next piece of news, we got 2 trailers that we're going to talk about here. First one up, Blade: The Iron Cross.
Is this a sequel to...
This, from what I understand, is a pseudo reboot to the series, but is there really any continuity to this series?
I've only seen pieces of the originals. I've never seen the new one that a lot of people were pissed off about.
Which
The Littlest Reich.
The Littlest Reich. A lot of people
I
hated that one.
I caught it on. I came in midway through it on Shudder TV. It was just like the ones where they just play it, and there was one scene that grossed me out so bad that I was just like,
which one?
It was the crawl up the pregnant lady.
Yes.
And it was just like it was literally.
I love that scene.
I was just.
Yeah.
The whole time, and I don't know. The filmmaking was amateurish. Barbara Crampton was good, but that's because it's Barbara Crampton. She's always good.
Yeah.
Like,
I own like the first 8. I have like the 8-pack of the.
Do you really?
Masters? Yeah.
I might have to buy this sometime.
Yeah, I've watched like the first 3. I'm like I like them, but I'm like I'm not gonna sit and watch 8 of these in a row, type of thing. Littlest Reich, I love. I absolutely love it. Shudder just did like a watch party with it during quarantine, and they had all the filmmakers, and Barbara Crampton was tweeting along and stuff. And
was Craig Zoller a part of that?
Yes. Well, no, he was not, because he was doing something else.
Oh,
I don't think we need to bring up.
I hope he's making his next movie, because I love Craig Zoller. I love his movies, anyways.
Let's not talk about that on the horror podcast right now. That's touchy stuff, Blake.
Really?
Craig Zoller?
Yeah.
Who all his movies were made under Cinestate.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about Cinestate.
I mean, I'm only talking about his movies,
I know, I understand.
which I really, really love.
Which they were all made under that. And I think this one was too, so maybe that's a little problematic. But that's all right. Yeah, I like Littlest Reich. It's a lot of fun. This movie reminds me of that tone. It's a very similar tone. This movie looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. Like, this is the Full Moon I like. And I know you like the Evil Bong and...
This feels exactly like those.
Does it?
Yeah. I mean, the poor lighting.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with all that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Evil Bong is like trying to be funny and all this weird
this
shit.
Looks like it's trying to be funny.
No, I get that, but there's just a different type of like humor that's just does not work for me. Like an Evil Bong and what's the other
Ginger Dead Man.
Ginger Dead Man and all. I just can't get into those. I don't know what it is about modern Full Moon.
oh my god.
Especially like the latest ones where he's trying to just exploit coronavirus and Tiger King. I'm like,
I'm not gonna.
What are you doing, Charlie Band?
I'm not here to litigate all of Full Moon's movies, but
yeah.
I do enjoy a good Ginger Dead Man movie.
Ginger Dead Man.
This reminds me of 90s Full Moon, like Castle Freak, like where we're getting a good filmmaker involved in Castle Freak and those type of movies. So I don't know. I think it looks fun.
Yeah, it totally does. When I watched the trailer, first I was like, is this a Puppet Master movie? You know, I think it looks great. I think a lot of the gore and cheesy acting. I'm in.
Any other final thoughts?
I mean, I thought it looked perfectly fine. It looked a lot like Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich, which, as I said, I was like, I mean, I'm just worried that there might be another scene like the pregnant lady scene, and
God, I love that scene.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, it's a well done scene.
It's shocking.
It's just like, oh my god.
Next trailer that we got here is the upcoming release of Aquaslash.
Yes.
Aquaslash.
This is my movie right here. I'm here for this movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if the entire movie takes place inside of the slide, which I hope it does, because there's some great stuff. Did you guys watch the Red Band trailer for this?
Yeah. I just... It raises questions, though, like... I just don't know how they're going to pull it off, because isn't it... They're talking like it's going to be like a murder mystery. Like, who's putting blades in the slides? I'm like... I feel like it'd be pretty easy to figure out someone making these elaborate blade booby traps inside water slides.
Yeah, I'm here for this movie.
It's a water park slasher.
Water park slasher.
That's it.
I don't know what else I need to say about this. This movie, people go down a slide. There's blades in this covered slide.
And it's like the same shot of them getting sliced.
The shot at the end with those three girls going down, and they're I can't wait to watch this movie. I can't wait. This movie screams Blake. So I'm so when you said check out the trailer for Aquaslash, I was like, okay. And I watched it. I think I watched it at work, and I was like, yeah, I'm adding this to my notes right now.
Andy, the fat dude, sent it to me. He's like, here you go. And that's all he said.
When does this come out? Please say tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. It's out right now. I don't know. Let's jump to the next piece of news, and I'll look up when Aquaslash is coming.
Well,
I'm all in for Aquaslash.
Yeah. The next piece of news is the great horror movie The Changeling is being remade by a director named Anders Engström, and I forgot to write down exactly what other movie he's done. But boy, you got to have some balls to remake The Changeling. So good luck to that. The Changeling was maybe one of the great horror movies of the 80s. And you're going to have to find someone with a strong personality to fill in the George C. Scott role, because he kills it in this movie.
Yeah. Aquaslash, apparently it says June 12th is the release date. I don't see it anywhere on Just Watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird.
Should be out any time, I guess. I don't know.
Look for this when I get home.
Crazy.
Because I want to watch it.
Yeah, so The Changeling is again, for me, I put it in the same category as The Exorcist, The Omen, Rosemary's Baby, those type of movies. How the hell do you remake this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you recast George C. Scott?
They remade The Omen.
They did remake The Omen. And there's countless Exorcist sequels. I don't know how you do this.
And The Exorcist.
Have you seen The Changeling?
Actually really good.
Yeah.
I have not seen The Changeling. I know exactly what movie you're talking about, though.
Good. Yeah, it's good. It's great.
Yeah.
What's the director's name?
And Anders Engström.
I feel like I've seen something that he's done.
Yeah.
Before. The name sounds familiar.
Anders Engström. I will look him up here. Yeah, I don't know how you do this. He directed a film called Taboo.
Okay.
Yeah, he has not. A lot of television is on his resume here, and none of these films that he's not done a whole lot of movies.
Huh. That's weird. His name. He has a very familiar name.
Yeah, Anders Engström. I don't recognize him from any. That can go either way, I guess. But
Yeah, sometimes those kinds of movies like surprise you, you know.
Yeah, I think it just could depend on who writes it and what kind of budget it gets. Because I've seen remakes that are straight to video that everyone forgets about, like Jacob's Ladder, and then I've seen the great remakes that get the theater release and go on to some sort of notoriety, like Let Me In,
or Child's Play.
Sam had the microphone in his mouth, just waiting for me to finish the news of this thing.
Yeah, I think casting will be a big part of this movie and where it goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, again, we've talked about this before, where sequels are like sequels or remakes, you'll still have the original no matter what. So, I'm excited to see a different take and see what they can do with it. Maybe. What do we got next?
We have a brand new found footage movie from one of the directors of the Blair Witch Project called Skyman. This sounds kind of fun. I've only seen the Blair Witch once. I still need to rewatch it. Obviously, it's one of the greatest horror movies ever made. I'm super interested to see where this goes. This could fall in with like the release that everyone's looking forward to, and all of a sudden, like, it gets a terrible release, and no one sees it, and it becomes nothing, or it could be something of notoriety. And is there a trailer out for it?
There is a trailer.
Okay.
I've not watched.
I haven't watched it either. Yeah, so
I watched it, and it looks very interesting. Like it's definitely shot faux documentary style, much like Blair Witch Project was. It looks like the trailer doesn't show a whole lot. I mean, it gives you the basic premise. There's a kid. He, when he was younger, he thinks he was abducted by aliens or had an alien encounter, and now years later, he's saying that they're coming back and attempting to reconnect with him. And so, yeah, a lot of Blair Witch-isms where it's like, oh, what happened to our magnet outside? Well, a human couldn't have done this, and it's like, that kind of stuff. So it could be good, because I like the Blair Witch Project. It's one of the very few found footage horror films that I thoroughly enjoy and actually revisit quite a bit. So,
yeah, I remember hearing about this movie when Daniel Myrick was on a podcast, and he was talking about it, and they were talking about Blair Witch, obviously, and he said that he's doing a new found footage movie, and it's about an alien abduction. I believe it's based on a true story. True story.
They said the same thing about The Fourth Kind, though.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what he can do with it. I have not watched anything of note that the two Blair Witch directors have done. I don't want to call them one-hit wonders, but they haven't gone on to do anything that level since then. Well, and have they done anything together since the Blair Witch Project?
I'm not sure.
I don't think they have. I would have to do some more research on that, but again, it's written and directed by one half of the Blair Witch team, so that at least excites me with that attached to it, and him doing a found footage movie again. I mean, Blair Witch Project is top 5 favorite horror movie of all time for me. I love the movie. And again, if you throw aliens in that, that's pretty cool. I mean, we talked about the remake of Blair Witch, or the pseudo-sequel Adam Wingard movie, which, judging by Sam's face he made, he's not a fan either.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. And I love Wingard. I think he's great, but that movie was a surefire miss.
Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows is still the best sequel to Blair Witch. And yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Saying much.
We'll leave it at that. Blake's just silent now. That's it.
I mean, I like both of those movies, so.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
That's all right. You like Blair Witch?
Yeah. We talked about it last time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I know. I enjoyed hearing your take. I like it when I'm listening to people that like movies that I don't, just because I'm like, I don't know, gives me a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's like at least someone enjoyed this thing that, like, because people work hard to make these movies.
Yeah.
And like, it's nice to hear people not just rag on them.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'll watch this hesitantly. I'm with you. Like, well, you said they haven't gone on to do much after, but it's sort of hard to replicate the prestige of the Blair Witch Project at the same time.
Cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. Everyone was talking about, like, everyone. Have you heard Billy Ray Bruton's story of how he first saw it? someone just handed him a blank tape and said, "You gotta watch this."
That's the way to watch.
And then he started doing that too, where he would have parties at his house, and he would just when everyone's like busy, having a beer or whatever in the kitchen, he'd secretly put it in his tape player, and then they'd be like, "What is this?" And it's like, "It's just tape I found," and then he would like just show them the movie, and like so it's really cool like how that transpired, but you can't replicate that anymore, or unless someone figure out a way to do that on the internet. But it's so hard now with people calling fake on everything out there. So I don't know if we'll ever see something like that again. I have no idea.
It's interesting that you say that about the Blair Witch Project, because that's actually how I watched it.
Oh, really?
Friends, yeah, they had it on VHS, and they just told me they told me it was a documentary.
Yeah,
and I was like, why are we watching a documentary?
I think it just begins, doesn't it? Like, there's no opening credits or anything. It's just sort of like you found a tape and then...
It wasn't until the end credits rolled that I was like, wait, this isn't actually a documentary, is it? But, like, the whole movie, I was terrified because I thought this was a real thing that was happening, and I was just like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one night I was watching The Curse of the Blair Witch, the TV special, like the sci-fi TV special, and then Kayla and her sister walked in, and then I'm like, just thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, this one actually works as a documentary. I'm like, can I get away with showing Blair Witch Project after this? And so it did. Kayla had seen Blair Witch Project and knew about it, and so I text her, I'm like, do not say anything, I'm putting in Blair Witch next. So I popped in Blair Witch right after, and her sister, well, what are we watching? I'm like, well, this is another documentary about the Blair Witch. Okay. And so she went through the whole movie thinking it was a... Yeah. I'm like, I would love to have that experience. I never had that experience. I don't know about you.
Yeah, like I said, my mom was very, very strict about me watching rated R movies back in the day. And she I lived in a household where I had to be like, I had to be 16 before I could watch rated R movies. And this came out before I was 16, and even she was like, yeah, let's watch this, which is super weird for her to do that, because she didn't really like horror movies, and B, wouldn't let me watch rated R movies, but like she's like, yeah, let's see what this is all about. So a friend of mine brought it over. So I mean, at this point, I'd known about all of the hype and how it wasn't real, but it was still like this incredible experience to watch something that really had never happened before.
All right, should we move to our last news?
Let's get this wrapped up.
Yeah, let's do this. From the director of Mordecai comes the latest Blumhouse film, You Should Have Left, starring Kevin Bacon and Amanda Seyfried. Trailer just dropped. The movie will hit VOD later this summer, right?
This month, I think, even.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's very soon, I know that.
I'm so...
June 18th. So, yeah, this week.
Yeah, this week. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is one of those mood movies. I love the mood in this trailer.
I wasn't going to watch the trailer, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. And here's my hypothesis on this movie. Either A, they showed the entire movie in the trailer, which really upsets me, or there's going to be a stupid twist that they're like, you think you know where it's going, and then you watch the movie, and then it's like, oh, nope, gotcha. So I'm expecting one of those two things to happen. One, it's going to suck, or two, it's going to have... I'm basically being really pessimistic about this. I don't think it looks very good, personally.
See...
That's just me.
It's definitely got that, like... It's got that Blumhouse vibe, right? Like, the bodies and, like, the jump scare and the shadows across the wall and all that. But just that mood... And, like, Kevin Bacon is a creepy dude.
Yeah.
Like, he is far removed from that whole footloose teen heartthrob persona.
Yeah, I mean, he played a pedophile in one movie.
Right. Yeah, like, I mean, he's, like... His performance alone, like, just seeing Kevin Bacon horror movie, I'm like, I'm in.
I will say it's nice to see Kevin Bacon in a bigger movie again. Mm-hmm. Like, it just seems like... And maybe that's to his volition. Maybe he just wanted to... Is just choosing now because he has that reputation of, like, you know, old 80s Hollywood actor. The 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, you know, he lives off that. But it's nice to see him back in a bigger movie again. That's kind of sort of have like some prestige to it. I think, is it David Koepp who's making this? Doesn't have a great track record as a director. Wrote a bunch of
Secret Window, Stir of Echoes. He also did, but he also did write some good movies.
He wrote the Jurassic Park, I think.
Jurassic Park, at least the first Spider-Man from Sam Raimi.
Did he write any Fincher movies? I feel like he wrote a David Fincher movie.
Let me look him
I
up.
feel like he did. And I'll say, like, okay, so Secret Window is not a good movie, but I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, I pull it out every couple of years and watch it just because, like...
I don't like it, but I oddly think it's one of Johnny Depp's better performances.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
He wrote Panic Room.
There you go. I knew he wrote... yeah,
He also wrote Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah.
The
He's a
OG.
good writer.
Yeah.
Did he write this movie?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
There
I'm
could
pretty sure
be...
he's the screenwriter,
There
too.
could be something in it, then.
Yeah, he's also attached to the Bride of Frankenstein remake.
Ooh.
I know. Here's the thing.
I think that might be a...
Contingent on how well this does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I...
Cancel it.
No, don't cancel it. I'm so, like... We talked about this last night. The Tom Cruise Mummy movie is an awful movie, and that is why I love it so much. I so want the Dark Universe to happen still. I so want it to happen still. I would watch 100 more of those movies. I would. I don't know. I'm glad that we got The Invisible Man. I'm really glad that we got The Invisible
Let's build
Man.
off that, other than The Mummy, because I agree with you. I want that to succeed. I don't want to. I don't want to watch bad movies. I want people to make great stuff, and I champion all of them. So I hope they make that. I hope that still happens.
I think my problem with the Mummy was they went goofy too fast.
Yeah.
Like all the Universal ones, they start straight laced and then they get really goofy after that. Like they would. The Mummy remake with Tom Cruise is like, this is just a goofy movie right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least Invisible Man, I'm like, you can go goofy now after this. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
You did your straight laced thing, go goofy.
Didn't you say that Elizabeth Banks is making
An
the next
Invisible
one?
Woman, yeah.
By what you said,
Which will be a goofy movie.
yeah.
Oh,
I hope that she goes all in on the goofiness of that. And so,
That movie is like a Three Stooges movie, and like we could make an Invisible Man movie.
yeah.
Yeah, this trailer. I really dug this trailer. I think it looks like a lot of fun. I'm not expecting anything great out of it, but it seems like if this was going to be in theaters, I'd be the opening weekend just because it looks like a ton of fun. I'm hoping it's not one of those $20 rentals.
But it's coming from Universal, so it probably will be.
I hope not. I get it, but
That just means we all have to have a movie night.
yeah, I'm just not ready to shell out $20 to rent a movie for a night. It's like I get paying $20. Like I'll pay $20 to go watch the movie in theater because that's an experience. When you do that, I don't want to pay $20 to watch it at home and not own the movie. But the trailer itself looks a lot of fun. I like when Kevin Bacon does genre stuff, like Death Sentence.
It seems like he's one of those actors that when he's not doing it for a paycheck. He's doing it because he likes the genre,
Having
obviously,
fun.
Tremors. I mean, geez,
he came back and did the pilot for that TV series that's never going to
even
happen.
Fred Ward didn't even come back for that. I mean, man.
Couldn't even get what's his face?
Michael Gross?
Yeah, couldn't even get Michael. Well, I mean, he would have, but I'm
probably
sure he didn't ask.
He was probably making the 7th one.
He's like, I'm shooting 3 right now. I don't have time for the TV.
Oh, now you're coming back to the series, Kevin Bacon? I've been here this entire time. I haven't even left.
This is
to the
mine.
Consequences, New Mexico.
Jamie Kennedy's in more of these than you. Got it.
Jamie Kennedy's in 2 legendary horror series.
Yes, he is. And he was, he
was in Scream.
He was in Scream.
Yeah.
He's at least good in Scream. Not good in Trevor.
His death in Scream 2 was like, man, that movie, that blew my mind when they did that. I didn't think they were going to do it.
Oh, I was
didn't think
pissed.
They were gonna kill
But
Raimi.
yeah, I was pissed. Anyway, so that's it. You should have left that it was coming out by the time that this episode is out. All right, that's it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I hope they prove wrong.
If it is a $20 movie, let's do a movie night.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. Blake, you want to do the wrap around?
Yeah. Oh God, I have no one in a long time.
You want to be our Mickey Rourke and
How do
wrap
I?
around?
I'm gonna be Mickey Rourke in Nightmare Cinema and screw this whole thing up.
Just go unscripted like he probably.
Yeah. So let's see here. Boy.
Where can they find the podcast?
they can find the podcast. Oh, that's my best Mickey Rourke. I'm sorry, it wasn't very good. The Mickey Rourke from like The Wrestler, not Mickey Rourke from like The Year of the Dragon or anything. You can find all Backlot 605 podcasts on Google, Apple, YouTube. What, Casey?
You can find the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, and YouTube. You can find it's just you can find it under the Backlot 605 banner. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just look up Backlot 605. Yeah, that's where you can find us. Also join the South Dakota Film Community Group on Facebook, doing a lot of fun discussions on there. Let's talk about the Tremors movies on there. Why not?
A lot of fun discussions recently.
Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much what we got to plug. Sam, what do you got to throw out there?
I mean, yeah, I'm on the South Dakota Film Community Group, so yeah, just like follow me on or like follow that, and you can follow me on Medium, on Twitter, any of that kind of stuff. You just type in my name, I pop up. So yeah,
I'm a follower.
Yeah. I'm glad to be on the podcast, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Absolutely. Blake, what's your letterbox? We'll throw out those. Because I have deleted all of my social media. I'm done with them.
Yeah,
got rid of them.
Social media's tough.
Got rid of the Twitters and the Instagrams.
I'm on Letterboxd at The Real John G. All lowercase, all one word. Figure that movie reference out. You can find me there. I'm on Instagram, Blake G5150. I do some movie stuff on there. Otherwise, you can find me on Facebook.
Yeah, and I'm just Casey Kelderman on Letterboxd. Pretty easy to find.
I think I am just Sam Lenz on Letterboxd, but I'm not.
Sounds right. Yeah.
You are.
Sounds right.
Yes, you are definitely Sam Lenz on Letterboxd.
And Sam Lenz, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We will definitely have you back to talk more horror movies. And then next week, we should bring up what we're doing. We're going to have another killer countdown. We only have, what do we got? We only have 5 more killer countdowns left. Tough.
Oof.
This next one's going to be a tough one. That's why me and Blake are not going to be playing this one. We're instead inviting Tad Good and Jason Bollinger from the Attack of the Killer podcast. They're going to be doing the top 8 best horror scores of all time. Good luck, boys.
Some big shoes to fill there.
Good luck. So that is next week anyway. Again, Sam, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Blake, got any other shenanigans to say?
I do not. No, that bush light knocked me flat.
All right. So, and again, thank you all for listening, and spook you later.